One perfect jumping jack. One perfect jumping jack. Ready.
Darnold fakes a screen, fires one left sideline, wide open, making the catch at the 10. Chris Herndon walks into the end zone. Touchdown.
Brady fires. Gronk can't hold on to it.
Sam Darnold with time, looking deep downfield into the end zone.
All right, welcome to the Jets cast. I'm Pasta. I got Ronnie from New Jersey across from me, and we're going to break down the New York Jets draft picks with Ronnie's favorite GM. Right, Ron?
Yeah. He's doing all right. I got to say. So we're going to do in this segment. We're gonna grade Maccagnan up until this point, and really talk about some of the hits and some of the misses that he's had. When Maccagnan came in, I was a little iffy. Izek was a train wreck, but he did save us a lot of money. He did put us in a good spot cap-wise, and that was kind of his specialty. But I didn't like the fact that the owners didn't allow, the natural progression. You sign a general manager, he's got to pick his coach. Yeah, you can't do it the other way around. I don't like this coach reporting to the owner and the GM report. No. The coach should report to the GM should report to the owner, and that's the way it should be. That's the way things work.
That was the problem in Miami, I must add. We have Adam Gase over here. It was just a shit show of communication, and I agree that the Idzik situation, he never got to pick his coach.
Never got to pick his coach. He saved us a lot of money, but he did miss on a couple of draft picks. So you know what? I wasn't so hard up when he left. But when Maccagnan comes in, look, the first couple drafts, it's taken him a while to get his footing, to be honest with you. I mean, the first draft, let's go back to 2015. Now, overall, that draft was not a very good draft.
Yeah.
It really wasn't. It was pretty much, it was a bad draft. And we're at the 6th pick. Leonard Williams falls to us. I mean, that's a no-brainer. My 2-year-old son could have made that draft pick. Everyone and their mother knew who should have went in that spot. He should have went earlier. He dropped to us. Now, he's had some good seasons. He does demand a double team. I wish that his game should be elevated a little bit higher at this point. I think it's taken him a little bit longer to kind of be as dominant as we originally thought he was going to be. But as far as that draft pick, I was happy with it.
Can we stay on that 1 second though, Ron? Because I have some questions for you and stuff. Because I think people are undervaluing Leonard Williams, and I go off what Bill Belichick said. The way this guy can be played up and down the line, you always got to locate him. You got to find out where he is. He does demand double teams. I mean, who really on the New York Jets defense scares you that you have to pay attention to other than Williams?
Nobody. I mean, and Williams came out of the gate strong. He had a phenomenal rookie year. And why was that? He had Muhammad Wilkerson on one side and Richardson on the other.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, the next 2 years, you get rid of those two guys. Now you're the main guy. He's not as dominant. Yeah, you're going to double team him because, frankly, you're not afraid of anybody coming off the edge.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles was, for some reason, he blitzed. He was happy blitzing out in Arizona because he had the corners, but he wasn't aggressive nearly as much as we all thought he was going to be when he got to the Jets.
Totally.
And that might have been because he didn't have the corners to cover. He didn't have anybody to get to the quarterback, so maybe he just kind of changed his scheme up. But Leonard Williams had a great rookie year, I think, because of the people that were around him. Once they lost them and he was the main guy, of course you're going to double team him because there's really nobody else that you need to worry about. But anyway, so moving back on the 2015 draft, Leonard Williams obviously was a no-brainer. Anybody could have made that pick. Good job, Maccagnan. Way to go. You really did your research on that one. Then you got second round. He falls off the wagon here. Devin Smith. I mean, the kid who had off the top off.
Monster combine. Monster combine.
Monster combine. Ohio State, played well, whatever. Gets to the NFL, he's a non-factor. Gets hurt right away, doesn't really help. Lost everything, no longer with the team.
Yeah.
Then Lorenzo Molden. I like this kid. I always thought that he
concussion issues, but
right. I mean, that's it. Injury issues. He hasn't been able to progress tremendously, but I still like he flashes. He's got flashes of some really good off the edge kind of stuff, and I think that he actually can become, a solid player in the NFL. Then you have the debacle, which was the Bryce Petty fourth rounder. It's like
fourth round.
I guess it wasn't too bad, but still. And then the Harrison in the 5th round. Seventh round was Deion Simon. Just a bunch of nothing. They're not even with the team anymore. Whatever. Not really happy. Fast forward to 2016, first round. Now, of course, the Jets, under the first year of Todd Bowles and Maccagnan, expectations were in the gutter. We all thought it was going to be rebuilding. And then we just rattle off 10 wins. I don't think anybody expected it. Then all of a sudden they're thinking, well, wait a minute, maybe we're not that far off. Maybe we're just a few players off. And we all know what happened. I mean, this last year, obviously, it showed everybody where we really were. But 2016 draft, we take Darren Lee in the first round. I didn't like the pick when it happened. There were other linebackers like Deion Jones, like Joe Schobert. There was a lot of other linebackers that I thought were better than Darren Lee. He was fast, but he was undersized. And taking that high of a pick, 20th overall, I wasn't too happy on that. And then here's the real debacle. This was the second round disaster of all disasters with Christian.
This is the worst pick he's ever had.
Yeah,
I didn't understand this pick whatsoever. I didn't understand this whatsoever. Why he did this? Why he would go near Hackenberg? Hackenberg can't even make it in the Alliance League right now. His feet are terrible. And you already took a shot last year.
Back in the day, he couldn't hit what? He couldn't hit what?
He couldn't hit the side of a barn.
He couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
I'm sorry. Where's Johnny Danks?
Hey, Jardula. Ronnie couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
He couldn't hit water if he fell out. Sorry, he couldn't. I mean, he was just a terrible pick.
Well, it was funny when he came in, the first preseason game, the first series, he drove right down the field. He dropped 5 balls in the bucket. I was so jacked up. And then that's it. We don't see the guy anymore. He's just like he's not even on the team. We were so bad. The team was playing like such shit. Just throw the kid in there. Things are dropping. The wind is blowing. Throw him in. We never actually even got a chance to see him. Same thing with Tebow as a quarterback under Rex Ryan. We suck. Throw the kid in there. What do you have to lose? I mean, we all know in practice, Hackenberg and Tim Tebow couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat. They couldn't throw anything. But just throw him in the game.
Yeah, I hear you.
Hackenberg, I have a feeling, was a gamer like Tebow. You put him in and weird shit happens. But anyway, Hackenberg was terrible. He looked the part. He just wasn't he wasn't the real deal.
The rest of the draft, they did good, though, because right now in the third round, we got a guy who got a 7 sacks last year in Jordan Jenkins as the 83rd pick. And I always said this about the Jets outside linebackers last year. We got about 3 B-plus guys. We don't have that A guy. We don't have that dominant pass rusher. But Jordan Jenkins and Copeland are pretty decent. They had 7 sacks each, or one had 7, one had 5. I mean,
and it's funny. I was mixing up Jenkins and Molden. They look like they're cut from the same cloth. I mean, I mixed the two of them up every now and again.
Same skill set.
But yeah, exactly. And they feel like the same player to me. But Jenkins is good. And for the 83rd pick, I'm not mad at that. I thought that was okay.
How about the 5th round, Brandon Shell with the 158th pick? Solid starter.
But I think he's a solid starter because we don't have better solid starter. I honestly think he's more of a rotational guy. I don't think he was ready to be thrown into the starting lineup as soon as he was.
He's playing the hardest position on that line, tackle.
You're gonna face these end rushers, and I watched him a lot last year. I thought he did pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
He's improved. He's improved for sure. Last year he definitely improved. There's no doubt about it. But I still think that we could do better.
We can do better.
No doubt about it.
7th round pick. You got your favorite player on the New York Jets,
punter.
Lachlan Edwards. Lachlan.
We got the punter. Sign him up. We got the punter. Right?
But see, we talk about that. They also got Sharon Peak in that draft. Who plays special teams for us.
I thought he was going to turn into something. I really
still playing special teams, playing hard.
Yeah.
7th rounder, can't lose, hanging around. And that was also the year that, once again, and this is where Maccagnan always has been able to find some closet, deep, dark freaking dwellers. And he signed Robbie Anderson despite the problems at Temple. He brought him on, and Robbie Anderson has turned out to be a pretty decent wide receiver for an undrafted free agent.
No, there's no doubt about it. I mean, he's smooth. He is smooth. And some of the connections with Sammy D last year, they really, really got you excited. I thought they were going to I thought they should have put a first round tenure on him because I thought he was going to be a little bit more active in the free agency. A second round, I was kind of like, well, that seems kind of low. We might lose him for a second round. But then again, if we grade second round pick, we got more ammunition in the draft. But I like Robbie. I thought we should have traded him at the deadline. I thought that we could have gotten something for him right then and there. But I'm kind of happy we didn't because of the signing of Crowder, because of how well Herndon turned out the second half of the season. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited. And now with Le'Veon Bell, look, you're not going to be – our entire offense went from run-of-the-mill C to like B-plus potential A. If the offensive line can protect Sam with his ability to move out of the pocket and extend the plays, when you have the speed of Crowder deep and around the middle, across the middle, and then you got the speed of Robbie Anderson.
Yeah.
Then you got a Noonwai underneath.
Who you didn't even mention there. I was waiting for you to mention him.
This kid that breaks tackles, he drags people. He's like he is a tight end body frame with the skill set of a wide receiver.
Yeah, and he goes over the middle. Yeah, he's got great hands, big hands. Yeah.
Signed him to he does get injury prone. We signed him to a deal, but you know what? I don't mind it. I like it. So between Herndon and Noonwai, Crowder, and then on the outside, you got Robbie Anderson. Who's going to be left to cover Le'Veon Bell check down?
Yeah.
So our offense, and this, again, not Homer's talking. This is serious. Like, you can't cover all levels. You can't. No defense can really cover all levels. All right? You take away the underneath stuff, you got to worry about the seam with Herndon and the outside with Robbie Anderson. You throw your two safeties back, guess what? That opens up underneath for a Noonwai and Crowder. Mm-hmm. You throw a linebacker there, now you have nobody to cover McGuire. What's going on with Powell? Is Powell gone? Is he coming back?
Well, I think it's the end of the road for Powell down that we signed Le'Veon Bell.
I think so too. But having Powell,
I love him too.
McGuire and Bell.
Yeah.
I mean, now you're just.
Well, the whole thing is we're going to talk about the next year. Well, before we get to 2017, because that was the next one, and I think we should talk backwards maybe because we all had Jamal Adams, arguably one of the best Jets on the field, as the 6th pick, and I think your son could have made that pick as well.
Yeah, just like Leonard Williams. I mean, that was a no-brainer.
You got Marcus May at the 2nd round. Once again, plug and play right there.
But I think value had him in the first round talent, and they grabbed him in the second. No problem with that. And obviously, now if he could stay healthy, we have obviously our safeties tied up for the next,
and you got the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round where we took chances with wide receivers and tight ends, Jordan Leggett, Chad Hansen, and Darius Stewart. None of them are really panned out. Then you have the outside linebacker, Dylan Donahue, who just could not stay out of trouble. But then here you go again. And then you get an absolute, and I'm saying it now, Ronnie, this is going to be a steal. Elijah McGuire has got speed. He can run away from people, know, and that's why I think with his performance last year when Bilal got hurt, that spells the end to Bilal Powell in New York. But that's what Maccagnan can do. He can go in these late rounds and grab you some gems out of nowhere.
And here's the thing. In years past, as a Jet fan growing up, I'm talking even going way, way back to when I was like 4 years old. And they took Kenny O'Brien instead of taking Dan Marino.
Yep.
They've always seemed to overthink it. They don't go with the obvious. That's one thing I do love about Maccagnan is that, you know what? This is the best player. Everybody knows it. He's available right now. We take him. Whereas I think in years past, they would have turned around and they would have said, oh, Jamal Adams is available, but we really needed a pass rusher and go grab someone that's really supposed to be a 24th pick at the 6th spot. We've done this with a lot of players in the past. Kyle Brady. I mean,
you know what name came to my mind? Jeff Lageman.
New York Jets, 1st round choice. Jeff Lageman, linebacker, Virginia.
It's obvious to me right now that the Jets just don't understand what the draft's all about.
Jeff Lageman. Yeah, absolutely.
Jeff Lageman.
What about Golston?
Oh, man, don't start with this stuff.
It can blow your mind. So one thing I do love about Maccagnan is that he doesn't mess around with the first pick. He takes the best available player on the board, takes him, end of story.
Yeah, I think
we go up to get Darnold last year. We're going to get to that in a second, but I love the fact that he takes the consensus best player available, and he does it in the 1st round. And then he like you said, it was a good point by you because seeing this breakdown, it made me realize it. He has found some gems in the 6th round, but he's got to get better in rounds 2, 3, and 4. I mean, You know what? I'd be better off trade your 3rd and 4th round pick, move up high in the 2nd, and take one of those can't miss kind of guys. I mean,
yeah. Well, if you can get yourself in a position to get up early in the 2nd round, and then you can get some guy who slipped out of the 1st round, yeah, so be it. Right. But sometimes when you get in these later rounds in some of these drafts, you're just throwing darts, and you can miss on a lot of 2nd round picks.
First round picks are 50-50 shot. So it's obviously not a science, but the fact that he has been able to uncover some gems late. I just wish that he could uncover a couple of gems in the 2nd and 3rd round, because those are the ones that actually really increase the talent level.
Absolutely. But before we go through with this, please, let's be careful when we start talking about drafts of the past. I'm thinking that we should have Warren Sapp on our team.
Oh, Warren Sapp.
Dan Marino, Andre Rison, Emmitt Smith, all these guys we passed on in the past. I just don't want to get too nauseous, but the 2018 draft, I still love this move. Maccagnan made a move. He made it early. He got up from the 6th pick to the 3rd pick. He gave up a couple 2nd rounders, but more importantly, Ron, he didn't have to give up a future 1st rounder to get Sam Darnold, and we are sitting there with a great pick this year at 3, and we already have Sam Darnold.
I mean, we were talking about, remember Barrett a couple years prior, sucked for luck?
Yeah.
We were sucked for Sam. We thought we needed to lose every game to get him.
Yeah.
The fact that he had the foresight, like, look, I think Baker Mayfield was obviously the person they thought was going to be available. And I think they moved up to 3, saying, you know what? We could deal with Baker. We're going to get one of these guys. 3. When he did it, I thought that it was too soon, but I love that he didn't give up a 1st round pick this year. Yeah. I thought that was enormous. And
can I tell you something, Ron? I think that's what the genius thing about it, though.
Yeah.
The doing it early. Right. He sent a message, and I was expecting the Jets to maybe do something like that again. Like, I mean, there was a big relationship that was built. They did it early. They put it out there. And the way he set the tone for that draft is, hey, man, the Jets are going to get one of these top 2 quarterbacks in this draft. Now, have the Giants taken Sam Darnold? Should the Jets have taken Saquon Barkley?
They wouldn't have.
But you wanted him, and so did
I.
Let's be honest. We both wanted Saquon.
And I did not want Josh Rosen. And but they wouldn't have. They would not have. They would not have taken Barkley. They would have probably have taken Rosen, and it would have been a disaster.
Yeah.
In my mind. We got the guy that everyone consensus said was the best quarterback in that draft. And Baker came out and had a great year. And Baker's going to have a hell of a career now when you're dealing with Odell Beckham. And they're either going to be phenomenal or terrible.
Well,
it's going to blow up in their face, or it's going to blow up, and it's going to be great. So
I don't think the Giants got screwed completely on that deal with Odell Beckham Jr. There's a lot of great wide receivers in this draft, and there's a couple quarterbacks that are going to be undervalued anyways. I think the Giants can stay still. I think they can take Metcalf with their 6th pick, and at the 17th pick, take Drew Lock and make up for what they got. Plus, they got Peppers that came on over, and I don't think it's that awful.
Good. If we're going to talk about that trade, I do think they did well. I think they actually got a better safety in Peppers because he's more dynamic in what he could do. I think Landon was great, but that was a big price tag. And I do think that picking up the 17th pick was solid, and the 3rd rounder. And I think they're going to trade their 2nd or 3rd round pick to Arizona for Rosen, and then they're going to go with a defensive player with the 1st pick, and then the 2nd first round pick is when they're going to go after the receiver. But we'll see what happens there.
Well, maybe. I think that I was really impressed with Drew Lock. At his pro day, I think he's got some great feet. I think he's the best pure passer in this draft. They can even sit still. They have a lot of options. But let's also go back to 2018 because we did have.
Right. So we did obviously get it. We make the move to move up.
Yep.
Sam falls on our lap, and again, my 2-year-old could have made that pick as well.
Absolutely.
Didn't have a 2nd rounder.
Nope.
Right. 3rd rounder. I think this kid was a great signing. I mean, we have, like you said, a ton of B plus defensive linemen. I think Shepard is phenomenal. I really do. I think this kid is going to be. He's tough to block.
He's only going to get better. He's only going to get better.
Only going to get better for sure. Yeah. And then
here it is.
The gem. This was the gem. You were banging the table, being a Miami Hurricane fan.
I was.
I mean, I know you grew
Shout
up
out to Chase,
Florida and whatnot, but you were just drinking the Kool-Aid with this kid. And I just had to say, before the draft, you made me watch a couple of his highlight reels, and I got to tell you what, the kid's athletic as can be. But I never thought he was going to be this good. Well, this kid and the rapport he built with Sam in such a quick time period was phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, because he's the same age as Sam too. People don't realize this kid is very, very young too as well. And we all know Miami is tight end you, man. Jeremy Shockey, back in the days. I mean, what's our boy? I'm a little blank right now because where's he playing? The big tight end. Help me out. New Orleans guy went to Green Bay. And
Jimmy Graham.
Thank God, I forgot Jimmy Graham's name. You know what I'm saying? Njoku, which could be a great. Yeah.
They're nothing. I mean, that's what they do. You're
tight ends go to Miami.
You want to go to Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. But I got to tell you, this kid blew me away. I'm super pumped up about his future. And what surprised me was that he was talked about as being just an athletic tight end. This kid could block.
No, he could block.
Actually, very. I mean, his grades blocking were way above what they were projected for him. So I'm excited about this kid getting older, getting bigger, getting stronger, and working with Sam on a regular basis.
Yep. He just drops some stupid passes here and there. He's got to keep his concentration level on. That's it.
Yeah,
the kid can be prone to drop some passes. He dropped some touchdowns last year.
That third down play killed me. Yep.
Oh, yeah. But once again, he was 20 years old.
Right.
Give him some time. He'll get his head together. And like you said, now we don't have to go out there and shop for a tight end because Maccagnan hit on this pick right here. And people don't understand how big that is. There's 2 first-round tight ends coming out from Iowa this year. We would be looking at one of them had we not made this pick last year. But we made this pick in the 4th round, and now our first round can be spent on pure cheese, baby.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
And also your boy in the 6th round. How about Trent Cannon?
Yeah, no, I like Cannon too. I forgot about Cannon. Cannon will probably be the 3rd guy behind Elijah McGuire.
Yep.
And there you go. Yeah, Bilal says, thanks, Bilal. Appreciate you.
I mean, I love Bilal Powell, but that's why he's expendable too, because of these late round picks with Elijah McGuire and Cannon. And let's not forget, with all these picks and all these things going on, a lot of this has to do with the way they sign them, the way they create this cap space. It gave us the cap space, but Maccagnan was able to keep it, and we had the 2nd most dollars to spend behind the Tampa Bay Schmuccaneers. I mean, that's also something that's got to go to Maccagnan's grade, overall grade.
There's no doubt.
So what do you give him for his draft grades overall since 2015 to now today?
I'm gonna give him a B-. I think a B- is a fair score. Obviously he does the obvious ones with the Leonard Williams and the Jamal Adams and the Sam Darnolds, and he made the move for Sam, and then he hit on the gems, like you said, with McGuire and Herndon and Cannon and a couple of other late round picks. So I give him a B+, a B-. Excuse me, B-. I think he's missed too many. He's missed on too many in the middle.
Yeah.
But I think that he's definitely manipulating the draft in the right way. So I give a B-.
I'm going to give him a solid B. And then the reason why is because he has to lose points for the Hackenberg pick, which is just god-awful 2nd round. I don't know why he did that, especially when he got Bryce Petty the year before in the 4th round. And I always thought Bryce Petty was better than Hackenberg anyways. We always had that disagreement. But well, I mean, they both stink, let's be honest.
Obviously, I thought Hackenberg was supposed to be the guy. He fit the build more, but I think, Hackenberg, Petty was better.
I mean, Petty played in that spread offense in college that 1 year and was a smart guy, a character guy, but he can never pick up a blitz. He can never read a defense, and it really cost him. Plus, he couldn't stay on the field.
And that's the scary part, you know?
Yep. So I'm going to give him a solid B, our GM.
Keeping the hammer down. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Good job, Chris. Hey, baby. Oh, man, that was fun.